Welcome to Poker Vlog number 13, and as you see, we're driving because we're playing in a different location. What? Yeah. It's fun because, yeah, we play every day at the same casino like always, and I like it. Truthfully, I like the routine. But we're going to play on a live stream today, so I'm super excited. It's in LA. I'll put right here the logo of it. And yeah, it's a 2-3, 500 max buy-in. And when I decided to do this, I thought it was a 2-hour drive, but as we're on our way, it says 3.5. So yeah, I'm still happy I'm going. I'm super excited. I'm used to vlogging, so I share most of my hands. So I'm already kind of used to, you know, being open to criticism. But a live stream is definitely different since you're going to see every single hand, even what I fold, and there will be live commentary. So I'm definitely nervous about it, but you know, in a good way. So one thing I want to say before we fast forward 3.5 hours to LA. A while ago, I had this reel that I made that I folded a backdoor flush and got so many responses. I got a lot of views, a lot of comments, mostly negative towards my play. And I sent it to Bart Hansen of Crush Live Poker, and he put it on his show, the live call-in one. And today, he made an actual YouTube video out of it. So that's awesome. So if you guys want to see what he thinks about that hand that people really gave me a lot of shit about, I'll put it in the description, and I'll put the original hand in case you guys haven't seen it. And with that, let's jump forward 3.5 hours to our first live stream. All right, we are here, and that was a long drive, over 3 hours. Damn. But it's fine. It went by pretty fast. And yeah, let's get right to it. I'm excited. I'm a little nervous, but nervous in a good way. You know, excitement type of nervous. Hopefully, you know, we get hands. I'm not even saying I want to win a lot of money. I just hope I get good enough hands that I could play. I don't want to be the tightest dude on the table. I want to try to play as much hands as possible. So let's hope that the cards make it easier on us, let's say. So yeah, let's get right into it. And here we are on a first live stream. Everything looks pretty amazing, super professional, and we're definitely out of our comfort zone. I'm used to playing at the same casino. I know most of the players and how they play, and here we are on a live stream home game, playing with players we've never seen before. So we buy in for $500, that's the max, playing 2-3. Let's jump right into the live stream.
Artlist.io.
All right, after seeing a pretty cool intro that the live stream has, a couple things just so you guys know what's going on. One is that there's a game going on that whoever wins with Jack 4, everybody has to pay, I think it was $5. So you're going to definitely see people getting a little more aggressive with that hand. And the second thing, the system they had to read the cards, basically you could only straddle from the button. So there's no undergun straddle sadly in this game. You could only do it from the button, and you could do any amount of money you wanted. So with that, you guys all cut up, and let's jump to the first hand. We get a pretty nice hand to get it started. King, queen suited in the cutoff. There's a button straddle at $10, and the way to play these straddles is the blinds got to talk first. So the big blind calls, the hijack calls. I raise it up to $55, and it's on the button, and he decides to go all in. A couple things about this spot. One is that the button, Uncle Leo, said when this hand started that he was thinking about going all in blind, and I definitely believed him. He seemed like he's here to have some fun. He's having shots. He's joking around. So it seems like he's ready to gamble. Second thing, he just has $130 behind, so he's playing pretty short stack. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's just doing this with a very wide range. So we just got to call $75. So of course, when it folds to us, we snap call. And as you guys see, we get the bad news when he tells us he has ace queen. So we're dominated. Let's see if we could get lucky. Our hopes of second out are pretty much gone when the flop comes ace high. So yeah, we need to runner kings or a straight. And yeah, as you probably expect, that doesn't happen. The turn and river does not help us. So he takes down his first pot. First hand aim, we're down $130. Not the way we were hoping to start, but there's plenty of time to go. Let's move on to the next hand. Next hand, we're under the gun. We look down at ace jack suited. I make it $12. The cutoff calls, now it's onto the small blind, and he decides to 3-bet, and he makes it $36. Definitely a 3-bet that's on a smaller size. This 3x out of position, and another person that called after me. This is one of those spots that I had the disadvantage of not knowing the player. I don't know if he's 3-betting the small blinds just with nutted hands, or he's super wide. And as you can see, he has queen jack off, so he's definitely 3-betting on a wider side. And yeah, if I knew that, like in the future, I'd definitely consider 4-betting. But without any knowledge about how he plays, I decided to call, and so does the cutoff. So we go 3 ways to a flop. Flop comes 5, ace, 7. So we have top pair, jack, kicker on a monotone board. So yeah, pretty good, but it's definitely scary. But the small blind decides to check, so that's good news. I feel like he's usually c-betting here, especially 3 ways if he hit the board. So I feel like I'm most likely good. I don't know what the cutoff is calling with both my raise and then the 3-bet, but I don't want to give any free card for a spade to hit. So I'm going to get $36, and only the cutoff calls. So we go heads up to a turn. Turn is great. It's another 5, and I don't think you should have too many of those. Calling next to act. I don't think he's calling bottom pair on a monotone board, but he called with pocket 2, so maybe he could. But in the moment, I definitely didn't think he had any of those. Most likely, I felt like he had a weaker ace or a flush draw, so I'm going to keep it going. I make it $90, and he does end up folding his pocket 2s, and we take down our first pot of the stream. This next hand is one of those I'm playing differently because I'm on the live stream. Under the gun makes it $10, and he gets a hijack cutoff button and small blind call, and we look down a king 7 off in a big blind. That's a snap fold if I was playing at the casino. Since so multi-way, this hand just plays very badly. Even if I hit top pair, I'm most likely someone has a better kicker if it was suited 100%. But here for the live stream, I want to play as many hands as I possibly can. So for $7 more, I do call. Let's see the flop. Flop comes 5, 10, king. So top pair, 7 kicker. Pretty good, but so multi-way, we definitely could be behind. But when we check, we get the good news when it checks around. Turn is a 6, and I'm feeling pretty good about my hand. I think if anybody had a king, they'd be betting on the flop. So I feel like most of the time my hand is good here. The 6 shouldn't change too much. I don't think it should bring in too many 2 pairs, maybe 5, 6. As you can see, that was definitely wrong. The button call with 9, 3 off. So every combination of 2 pair on this board is possible. But in the moment, I felt like that wasn't the case. So I want to get value, and with such a draw heavy board, I did make it on the bigger side. I made it $40. It folds to the hijack, and he raises us to 120. He folds to the small blind. He thinks for a decent amount of time and does end up folding. And yeah, definitely not liking this spot. In the casino, I just snap fold. This just looks super strong. And as well, he just has 129 behind. So he's committing basically half of his stack. That makes it feel even stronger, as if he's just ready to go all in on the river. I don't think he's ever committing so much of his stack to then just give up or fold. So yeah, this is why I do not like playing these hands. And I have a king, but such a bad kicker. Even if he slow played a better king, we're losing against that as well. So I do end up folding, and as you guys can see, he turned his turned flush draw into a bluff, super multi-way. And the small blind said that he was going to call if I wasn't in the middle, and he had second pair. So yeah, maybe this player is very aggressive like this, so I just can't fold top pair against him. So I know that for the future. And yeah, he takes it down with the bluff. For the next hand, we're in a very similar spot as the first hand we played. There's a button straddle at $10. Small blind calls, and it folds to us in a cutoff, and we looked at a king 3 suited. So definitely not that strong, but again, I'm trying to play hands, and it's a suited king, and we're in late position. It's good enough for a live stream. I make it $45, and once again the button goes all in. But yeah, he's definitely deeper this side. He's got $221. When it falls to us, yeah, we don't have king queen this time, we have king 3. So even though I think he's been doing this pretty wide, I think this hand is just a little too weak. So I do fold. As you can see, once again he had ace queen, so he's definitely getting lucky with those button straddle hands, and he takes it down. And after that, we're down to a little under $300. So we add on 200 to get back to around the 500 mark. And let's move on to the next hand. Now we are the ones with ace queen under the gun. I make it $12 and get the hijack and the big blind to call. So we go 3 ways to a flop. Flop comes pretty good. Jack, 7, ace, so top pair, queen kicker. But as you can see, the other players didn't really hit much. So when I c-bet for $20, they both fold, and we take it down. After that, we check the VPIP, and we're at 32. That's not that bad. At least not in the 20s, and we're not at the bottom. Yes, you can see Peter's at 77. That is pretty crazy. It's playing almost every hand. And yeah, we're not really getting many hands. Definitely not what we were hoping for. We're playing pretty wide just to get that going. And hopefully we could start getting more cards to be able to get it up and play more pots. For this hand, once again, Uncle Leo is doing a $10 straddle in the button. And I gotta say, I was pretty out of it at this point. I was super card dead, and we were halfway through the session, and I was just keep on thinking, I drove 4 hours to get here, and I'm so card dead. I felt as if it wasn't even gonna be enough to make a vlog out of it. I haven't even seen one premium. Best thing was Ace Queen. So I was trying to focus, but yeah, I definitely felt I was just super out of it. And in this hand, we have 9-8 off, and basically everybody calls and it's on to us. And as I said, I drove so long, I want to at least play some hands, so at least these are connected. So I call, button checks, and we go 6 ways to a flop. Flop comes 3, 9, 10. So we flop middle pair, 8 kicker. But when a small blind decides to bet, he makes it $20 and gets 2 callers. This middle pair, there's no way it's good here, especially because he bet against everybody. I think that's just almost always a 10 or maybe a flush draw. And then with 2 callers, it's definitely one of them has top pair. So I do fold. Turn came a 9. That would have given us trips. But yeah, that doesn't matter. That's just being results oriented. That's always a fold. And we move on to the next. Now we're the ones straddling in the button for $10, and we get the small blind and big blind to call, and we look down at king 5 off. So with that, just happy to check and see a flop in position. Flop comes 10, 9 king, so top pair, 5 kicker. Now the small blind bets $10, big blind calls and on to us, and yeah, there's so many hands that beat us, 2 pairs straight, top pair with better kicker. But I've been getting a better idea how they play, and I definitely think they could be super wide. So even though small blind bet and there's a caller, I still think my top pair may be good a lot here, especially on a board that is very draw heavy. So I call. Turn is a 6, and Uncle Leo keeps it going. He bets $20. Big blind once against calls and onto us, and yet a flush comes in. I probably should just be folding here. But on stream, I've been seeing some crazy hands. People just going pretty crazy with just super weak hands. I just, for that price on top of it, I still didn't think I could fold my king, even though I was pretty sure I wasn't good most of the time. So once again, I call. Things get kind of crazy now since Uncle Leo goes all in before the river even comes out, and it's a deuce of diamonds. So any diamond is a flush, and Peter has one of those with the 7, and he does put in the call, and of course we're just folding now, and Peter takes it down with his flush. The stream is getting close to ending, and here we are with not even one premium, and we get a little desperate. As you can see, we raise with queen 5 suited under the gun, but it's not as bad as it sounds since we're playing 5-handed. And remember I said that we're playing the Jack 4 game? Well, it plays in here since the button calls with Jack 4, and now the small blind 3 bets with Jack 4, the $47, and yeah, I'm not calling a 3 bet with this hand. That's definitely way down in my raising range. So we both end up folding, and apart from folding, we gotta pay the small blind $10 for winning the hand with Jack 4. Finally, we see a premium, and the most premium of them all, pocket aces in the big blind. As you see, I just have about $300, and that was just, I didn't want to add on just because I wasn't feeling my best, so I decided just to play with what I had. Under the gun makes it $10. Small blind calls, I 3-bet, I make it 50, and only under the gun calls, so go heads up to a flop. Flop comes 9, king 5, so pretty good. I usually wouldn't expect too many people to have 2 pairs in this spot in a 3-bet pot. But as you can see, he has king 4. So in this game, definitely anybody could always have 2 pairs, even in 3-bet pots. But in the moment, I wasn't expecting him to be this wide. I'm always c-betting here. I make it $50 and get the good news when he calls. Turn is great. It's deuce, so a complete break. I c-bet for $100, just leave me about 107 behind. And I think it's funny since he starts saying, "Oh man, you got pocket aces." That was really funny since he's right, of course. But when he started saying that, I got worried. I thought that he was going to fold since he thought I was really strong. But instead of that, he decides to go all in for the rest of my 107. So, of course, we call. He asked to run it twice, so that's what we do. First river is a 9, so we take that one down. And second one is a 5, so we scoop the whole pot and win our first decent pot of the session. With that, we got to stack up to 624, and we're in for 700. So at least we're just down a little under 100 for the session, and we still have a little bit of time to go. Now we're going to cut off with queen 9 suited. So not pocket aces, but for the hands we've been having this session, still feels like a premium. I make it $12 and get the button and blinds to call. So we go 4 ways to a flop. Flop comes Jack 8, 9, so we got middle pair and a gut shot on a monotone board, so it's something, but definitely not feeling great about my hand. Things are interesting since now it checks to the big blind and he leads out for $15, and I've seen him do this a few amount of times already during this session with pretty weak hands or maybe some draws. So yeah, our hand is definitely not that strong, and I have 2 people left to talk after me, but I just wasn't really believing this big blind. I felt like I was good a good amount of times against him, so I do put in the call. and get the good news when both other players fold, so we go heads up to a turn. Turn is great. It's a 10, so we hit our gut shot, and now the big blind slows down and checks and onto us, and now I always feel like I'm always good here, and he felt pretty weak, so I didn't want to bet too much. I want to give him a price that hopefully he'll call with his pairs. We are giving a good price at the flush draws, but I'm okay with that since I felt like most of the time he just had a weak pair. So I make it $35. And as you can see, he had pocket threes and he did have the flush draw, but yeah, he does put in the fold and makes sense since most of the time, even if he hits his flush, it's very likely not good. And we take it down. Very next hand, there's $6 straddle in the button. So we're first to act in a small blind. We got 9-6 suited. And you can see me kind of hesitating because I just know I have to fold here. I'm first to act with everybody after me left to talk. But they're suited and kind of connected. And this stream is almost over. And I just want to get more hands for the vlog. So I do put in a call. And everybody calls after. So we go 5 ways to a flop. Flop is beautiful. Ace 9-9. So we flop trips. And I decided to check here since I'm first to act. If I bet, I think it'll just look super strong. And if I check, definitely someone has ace, they'll be betting here a lot. So that's what I do. And sadly, it checks around. What could be the worst possible turn? Yep, an ace, and that's what comes out. So yeah, I decided to check again here just in case someone decided to slow play an ace. The ball control just in case anybody has a 9. And now the big blind bets, but it just makes it $5. That's definitely weird. It folds back to me, and thinking back this, I do think I should raise since I think he's betting a lot at ace on the flop. And if he does get to the turn with 1 and gets a full house, I never think he's betting this small. So with that in mind, I do think I should have raised. But in the moment, I just call. What's the worst possible river? Yeah, another ace. So our trips get counterfeited. Now we're just playing the board. So I check and he checks back and we chop it up.
God, that's so sick. Oh, that is sick. Oh, that's so disgusting.
So after that absurd hand, we move on to the last hand of the session where I got the $6 straddle going on in the button. Small blind calls on a big line makes it $33. Cutoff calls, and we looked on a king 10 suited, so very nice that we're getting a few hands towards the end. I'd consider raising here since big blind had been pretty wide, but since he made a raise on the bigger side, I decided to call. Small blind calls as well, so we go 4 ways to a flop. Flop comes 8, king 9, so we have top pair, but the 10 kicker, definitely we don't have the strongest hand on a board like this, since if anybody has a king, it most likely has a speed, since, you know, better kickers are out there, and king 9 and king 8 is 2 pair. But when it checks to us, I am always betting here since everyone is pretty wide. The small blind could have almost anything, and the cutoff is playing pretty wide as well. Maybe in a regular game, I'd consider paw controlling and checking here since a lot of 2 pairs, and I won't like if I get check raised. But here, I'm putting out a bet. I'm going to get $60. It folds to the cutoff, and he tanks for a good amount of time and finally does call. Turn is a queen that brings in the flush, but I really wasn't putting on that. He tanks so much. I think with the flush draw, he's calling pretty quickly since there's not too much to think about. But in this spot, I decided to check since I felt like he just had some middle pair that got sticky or some pocket pair that's going to fold. And sometimes he could have queen 9 that now is beating us. So I just felt like nothing worse was going to call into spot. So I decided to check back. Once again, we get a pretty bad run out when it comes to deuce of diamonds. Not any diamond beats us. But we get the good news when he checks, and I don't see the merit in betting here. I feel if I bet, I'm just turning my hand into a bluff. So I check back, and we see good news when he flips over ace 9, and our top pair is good, and we take down this last pot of the stream. With that, we end the stream, and we got a VPIP at 34% that I'm happy with the way we ran and the little amount of cards we got. So we cash out, and let's see how we did. All right, guys, that was the end of the live stream. Definitely not what I was hoping for. Just super card dead, and I really got out of it. I felt super warm. I don't know why. Maybe because it was live. I was not in my comfort zone. When I was in the tournament, I kind of felt that way too. I was trying to drink a lot of water to cool myself down. But yeah, let's see when I watch the live stream if it's very visible. But yeah, I was definitely not in my zone. And but thankfully towards the end I got a few hands that hopefully will be enough to make this vlog entertaining. I still got to drive home 2 hours plus the 3.5, so it's 5.5 hours driving. So at least, you know, I get a decent vlog out of it because we ended up down $45. You're in for $700, out for $655. Thankfully towards the end, at least we made most of the money back since we were down $400 at a point. So yeah, just that at least we didn't lose that much. that would have been pretty nasty. Just all the drive and no content and losing money. But at least we didn't lose money, and I think we have enough to make a decent vlog. So all considered, it was looking a lot worse than it ended up. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. It was a super long drive, so I don't know when I'll do another one of these. And I'll just stick to the usual vlogs at the casino until, I don't know, for now. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment and like. I appreciate a lot the support, and I'll see you guys next week.